And at the end, he gets split open like hard way, and there's blood like a geyser shooting out of his head, which was kind of scary, like oh my God, there's Vince McMahon, the boss, his head split open.
Zach, I want to get into two more big angles with you. The first one being your match with Mr. McMahon himself, Vince. Now, I can't even think how much pressure could have been on you for that. Honestly, it's such an amazing moment. Can you take us through that? Obviously, it was a long storyline, but the match itself, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of pressure, man. Because if you think about it, up until this point, I have one leg, and I have about maybe 35 matches under my belt. And I'm still in my first year as a professional wrestler. And they said, let's put him against a 55-year-old non-wrestler who happens to be the owner of the company in a semi-main event on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard in your life if you kind of look at the context of it. But the match itself, I felt very comfortable in the match because I was so young and immature, I was immature. There's no question about it, but young in the sense of experience, like Kobe was talking about. And Vince is a non-wrestler. We laid that match out like weeks in advance, and we would they would fly me to New York, and we would practice it in the WWE ring in New York. And then the day before the pay-per-view, they rented out this community college and set up a ring just for me and Vince to practice the match. It was the most surreal thing ever. And when I was a kid, I used to think like, that's how all matches are. That must be how wrestlers remember how to do this, that, and the other. They have to like go somewhere and practice it all the time. Like it's an act or something, you know? But that's not the case at all. Like this is very special. The fact that they did this, so they invested a lot into making the match as good as it possibly could be. I thought so while I was in the ring, because the nerves for me come from when I was a younger wrestler, come from like forgetting where I was or what to do next or where to go or how to emote and all of that. Now that I've been around for close to 20 years, it's not even a thought anymore. And I just go out there and just send it, and just ride the wave. Which is it's awesome. As you progress through wrestling, you get way more. Oops, I didn't mean hit my mic. You get way like a way bigger sense of freedom and creative control with that, and because you know who you are, what the audience expects, what they react to, what they don't, and then when the unexpected happens, that's like almost an opportunity to make some more magic. So like you can't really mess up. So the fear was when I was 19, 20 years old, I was gonna mess up. But the match itself was good, and considering all the variables, and at the end he gets split open like hard way, and there's blood like a geyser shooting out of his head, which was kind of scary, like oh my God, there's Vince McMahon, the boss, his head split open. Now if that would happen to me now, I would have like milked it, I would have grabbed the blood and just like Brock Lesnar myself, and just like I would have turned it into something cool, but I was just kind of panicking. And I thought the finish wasn't the right finish. I thought it was a bad finish. But you just do what, hey, when Pat Patterson and Vince McMahon tell you what the finish is, you roll with it,
You roll when you're 20 years old. Yeah,
exactly. But other than that, man, it was great. It was in Denver, Colorado the night before, at my hotel. Do you remember the band Tattoo, the two girls from Russia? Sang the song,
I don't.
all the things she said.
Okay,
this is not enough, right? That song was like number one in America, and that was actually Victoria's theme song in the mid 2000s in WWE.
What a cool fact! Wow.
Yeah. So one of the Tattoo girls was outside of the hotel, and the tall redhead one, right? And I'm like, oh my God, dude! Like, I want to try to hook up with a Tattoo chick, And so I walk up to her, and I go, hey, what's going on? She was smoking a cigarette, and I go, how am I going to introduce myself? So I walk up to her and I go, hey, do you have an extra cigarette? I didn't smoke, but like, she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So she pulls out a cigarette and hands it to me. I light it up, immediately start coughing. And I'm like, so what are you in town for? And she's like, oh, we're performing at the Pepsi Center or whatever. And then I said, oh, really? That's what a coincidence. I'm performing at the Pepsi Center tomorrow, And then she looked at me and she goes, okay, cool. Wow. And she walked away, right? She was done with the conversation. But
done.
But hey, man, shooters got to shoot. You know what I mean? I had to shoot my shot with the tattoo chick. But yeah, the whole weekend, the match was insane.
That's crazy.
And it was then they sent me a check for that match a few weeks later, and it was the most zeros I'd ever seen on one single paycheck in my life.
Wow.
It was just so stupid and surreal and crazy.
Yeah. Now I had to do an extra bit once for WWE. It was just one Raw TV taping. And then I was on, Chris Jericho was looking for his scarf in a segment with Kevin Owens, and I was a guy in a hallway.
And that's really cool.
But the checks that they send you after that, holy shit.
For being a guy in a hallway,
for nothing,
on everybody, Jonah from Rewind Recap Relive. You just watched a bunch of me, which whatever video this is on, you've definitely at least watched a few minutes. So I'm going to tell you right now, you know what I'm about to say, and you know that you have to do it. Head over to wrestlingpins.bigcartel.com right now. You're going to not regret it. You're going to pick up some pins. Whatever pins I got over there right now, they're the best in the business. Best merchandise out there. Go pick up some pins. Use the code RRR150FF. Get 15% off your order, and I'll see you soon.
Message Daddy, Boogie Woogie Man feel good. I tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss online. Rewind, recap, relive. Oh yeah.